And he's turning around. Like, he's going to eat the food. No, he's not. He's going to kill your mother. No, he's not. He's going to get the food.
Can I get a volunteer to grab that piece of food for me? Maybe I can get it if I... All right.
I'm a grandmother. Stop that. That boy.
Now here's got a bit of a choice. He's going to grab Mum or me. What do you reckon, Bluey?
He's younger.
Good boy, Blue. Thanks, Mum. All right, now, Bluey here, he is a beautiful croc. He really is. Hey, boy. Okay, Mother. Hey, good boy. But he acts exactly like a croc would in the wild. He's looking at pinpointing movement and vibration. This is the secret to the success of the crocodile. Good strike. He blew it. Good boy. He's such a legend. He's such a great crocodile, but what we want to show you there is, the speed of the strike from the water's edge. But crocs do have another technique to catch their food, and Vicky's going to show us that.
Absolutely. Blue is on fire with this. So, as Mother and Robert showed you, crocodiles can strike from the water's edge. It is incredible. But they can also come vertically out of the water and use their entire body weight. This is what we do to grab a bird on the wing, to grab a fruit bat on the side. They're all different. Look at the feet. Come here, mate. You're too far over. Come over this way. I don't want you to bump your beautiful, beautiful head.
Oh, that's sweet when you told us, Lucy.
Oh,
I think you're pretty handy.
I love it if you know what to eat me. Good job, Lily.
Oh, let's see this. Do it.
You got it, bud. You got it. Nice work! That was beautiful, buddy. I've got another one for you.
It looks like a dog. We catch.
Nice throw. It's a rat burger.
Oh, the rat burger.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Good rat burger. And just a little plug, they're fresh from the Crikey Cafe. The rat burgers.
They are not, Robert.
Good boy, Blue.
What is there? Hi. Okay. Oh, Bluey. All right, now
Come
look
here,
at Santa.
Come on, Bluey. Over here.
He's so cute.
Follow the American accent. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do now is get Bluey out on land to hopefully show you top speed of a crocodile once they're out of their element, out of the water, on land. There are myths that they can run as fast as a horse. For my sake, I really hope those aren't true. Come on, Bluey. Ooh, you're being fun. Come on, Bluey. Nice job, buddy. Look at the food and not me. There you go. Nice job. Woo! Give it to Bluey, everyone. That was awesome.
Nice job, buddy. Isn't he awesome? But keep him out of the water like that. You get to see where he's quick and where he's not. See that big long tail there? That, you don't like me pointing out your tail. That is really the secret to his success in the water. However, on land, that tail is a huge hindrance for Bluey. It really is, because it's very heavy. It's very long. There's a lot of weight in that tail. A heck of a lot of weight. See how as he comes out, I'm moving backwards much quicker than he can come forwards. The reason for that is that tail. This is just a big handbrake there. And he's still keen, he's still interested, but out on land, I have the upper hand out here. I can sit down right in front of him, no worries at all, when he's out on land. I can lay down in front of him and look. And look at what he does. He just tries to go, I don't trust him still, but all he tries to do is get back into the water.
Okay, Robert's got a nice big piece of feral pig meat. He's tied it to a rope, so when Bluey grabs the food item, he can simulate a struggling animal. So let's see what Bluey does. He lines up a strike, remaining under the water. When he thinks he can grab it, he strikes. He grabs that piece of food, and then he instinctively takes it back into the water, because he knows to overpower something, he has to get it back into the water. So what Robert's doing is pulling on the rope. Bluey's got a few things up his sleeve. He can do these incredible head shakes, like that. He's got 3,000 pounds, per square inch jaw pressure. That's more, man down. That's more jaw pressure than any other living animal today. He can also death roll, you little ripper. He'll death roll an animal off its feet and drown it very quickly. Now, we can just give Bluey his lunch, but he loves this. 2 death rolls. It's like playing tug of war with your 300-kilo dog. It's really cool. Oh, great head shake.
He just about pulled my arm out of the socket.
You're going to be a fun old guy, Robert. Oh, my shoulder. 3 death rolls.
Let's pull it up.
Wow.
You are awesome.
Give him
Another head
He's
shake.
still keen.
Bluey is so keen.
We're
I
good.
love this crocodile.
We're good.
Let's see what happens. He gets his lunch. Way to go, Robert. Way to go, Bluey. Woo-hoo. Bluey, did you kill that all by yourself? Did you get that? Are you just an apex predator? Are you top of the food chain? You got big eyes, buddy. Did you think you had Robert? Sorry, mate. No such luck. Boy, you did good. Isn't he beautiful? And how cool to see just how a crocodile would hunt in the wild. Of course, now he needs to go home. We've got a problem because he's listening to my voice. See, as long as I'm talking and he's listening to my voice, nothing else is going to happen because poor Bluey, he's a male crocodile, so he can only do one thing at a time.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to be really quiet so you can think. Okay. It's
I don't know if that's like completely accurate.
It's very scientific.
It's accurate.
Yeah, so the scientists have been studying this phenomenon.
Right.
And externally, you can't tell a male from a female croc, but if you give them multiple tasks,
You instantly know.
it's
There you go. That's good to know.
yeah, but he's very good at that one thing and dangerous.
He's a bit shell-shocked. I don't know. He doesn't really know what to do.
Well, since he needs to go home, how do you think we're going to get him all the way home when he just had a monster meal?
I think there's really only one thing left to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking, the whole demonstration about how you don't want to swim with a crocodile, but someone is going to have to infringe on his territory. Someone's going to have to swim him all the way home. I reckon that's the only logical solution.
Is this the audience participation part?
No, that sounds like a lot of paperwork. We're going to need someone a bit more expendable. So, Chandler, you're up.
Wow.
That's a little bit hurtful. Let's see if Chandler can get Bluey's attention. Please, do not panic. Do not worry about Chandler. The water is heated. It's about 30 degrees Celsius in there. It's about 30 degrees Celsius out here.
I feel better now. I was worried he was going to catch a chill.
No, he's not going to get a cough or cold.
No COVID today.
No, he'll be fine.
Love it.
Bluey's pretty stoked. He thinks he's getting dessert now.
Oh,
Dinner in the
Bluey.
show. Look at Bluey. Oh, he's looking at you guys. He's like, hey, thanks for coming in to see me. He knows he's the star of the show. Look at him.
I love him though because his eyes get really big.
I know.
And excited. He's
But-
like
but-
a really scary dog.
Look, he's like, everybody's here to see me. I'm so cool.
Oh,
Look at him. There he goes, right down into actually stalking mode.
Yeah, swim away, Chandler.
Swimming away would be really a great idea. And as Bluey enters that canal, I'd like you to appreciate you just experienced what you can see nowhere else on planet Earth. Big hand for Chandler and Bluey. Woo! Way to go, Bluey! Come on, come up one last time, Bluey. We love you. Come on, Blue. Go, Blue. Wait, I'm a Queenslander. What am I saying?
Oh, isn't he such a cool croc? And this is so important for Bluey and for all of our crocodiles, that we're not just having them in a pond and throwing them a piece of meat every now and again. Crocodiles are built to hunt, they're built to stalk, and to use all the amazing predatory instincts and intelligence that they've developed over eons. So having crocs here, in an area like this where they can defend their territory, they can come out and grab their food, they have the best day ever. It's so good for them, but also great for crocodile conservation. This is what it's all about, is educating the importance of this animal so that everyone realises how lucky we are to share territory with modern day dinosaurs. They are truly one of a kind, and they're not an animal to be hated or feared, but rather respected. Absolutely.
Yeah, we love them. They are beautiful. Apex predators around the world are the most important animals on the planet, whether it's crocodiles or bears where I come from, or the beautiful tigers. You know, everyone has apex predators where they come from. And those are the most important animals to preserve, because without them, we would lose everything else. Here in Australia, we would lose our barramundi, our mud crab, in a pretty short order. So we want to make sure to look after the apex predators on our planet and really learn to love them. And every single person here is doing that. When you come in and you pay to come visit the zoo and you have something to eat and you shop in the shops, you are putting money directly towards conservation. So I can't thank you enough for continuing all of our conservation work, continuing to make sure that these animals are here in the future, and we sure couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys so much, and happy school holidays. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Woo-hoo!
Hi, I'm Kurt Fernley, and this is 1+1 Plus Crocs. We're at Australia Zoo, and this is Robert Irwin.
So what we'll do here is we kind of try and replicate that sort of natural behaviour. So I'm kind of making a little splash, coming in to have a drink, and he's picking up on the vibrations sent out by my feet. See how he's getting all that movement from his tail? He's getting excited because he can feel exactly where I am. Now he'll set up with all 4 feet planted, he'll open his eyes, and then he'll come for that strike. Up here, mate. Here you go, big boy. So that's the hit. He's very quick on a dime, and he's got a bit of go on land as well. The interesting thing with Bosco is that he's a very athletic croc.
Robert Irwin, welcome to 1+1.
Thanks so much, mate. I'm stoked to be here.
Having just seen you up close and personal with the Crocs, I find it terrifying. But it
So do I.
yeah, like it looks like you're bored for it. It looks like you're so comfortable in there.
Mate, if anyone says they aren't scared when they're feeding a crocodile, they're kidding themselves. Mate, I'm the first one to admit, every time you get in there, your adrenaline levels are just through the roof, and it takes a while to come down off of that. It really does. But mate, it's so much fun. It's such a, I don't know, it's such a primal feeling, you know. It's that flight or fight response. You're one-on-one with pretty much the most pound-for-pound, most powerful predator on the face of the earth. It's a humbling experience. It makes you feel very, very small and insignificant, I'll tell you that. But I love crocodiles so much, and it's an adrenaline rush every single time. So good.
Well, I actually did recognise a little bit of that adrenaline, that anxiety. Do you like that, though, a little bit?
Love it. I live for it. Mate, I live for it, 100%. That's the spice of life, you know? When you're constantly pushing yourself, you know, when you're taking on a new challenge and really, you just got to take it in your stride, and you've got to give it 100%. And dealing with a dangerous animal, dealing with a croc, it's like anything. You start to learn the rules among dealing with that animal. And that moment when you're standing there, you know, you notice how they
it's that vibration. Anything that they feel, they key onto it. You get that vibration going, get them to put a strike on, and that second where you watch their eyes pop up and their eyes just go, woof, they get huge and they're like, yeah. And then they put on that huge hit and you just feel the entire world disappears. It's just you and Bosco, you know, it's you and him. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And it's amazing, you know, it's like your dog or your cat at home. You form a connection with these animals. I love them so much. It's deeper. It's a deeper connection than, you know, I can't go over and give him a pat. He'll eat me. But,
I was going to say, it's not like my Groodle at home.
not exactly. But it is this one-on-one connection you form. He loves using all of these instincts to come out and try and eat you. You know, it's a great day for him. Plus, most importantly, our crocs have a great time, and we can teach people about just how awe-inspiring these animals are. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's an honour, and most of all, I feel closest to Dad when I'm in there feeding crocs, mate. You can feel his presence, and you can really feel close to his legacy when you're in there working with the very same crocodiles that he did. It's a meaningful thing.
Because some of those crocs have been in there since the start of the park, right?
Exactly, yeah. So the interesting thing is, originally, my dad did a lot of crocodile rescue and crocodile relocation. That was how he formed his amazing skills and became the most highly skilled human being on the planet when it came to crocs. He was amazing, but it was all about rescuing crocs. He would spend years on end out in the bush, completely disconnected from the natural world. At literally age 20, he'd be out there just living off the land. It was just him, his dog, and his swag, and he'd be out there setting crocodile traps. If he wanted to feed, he'd have to go to the creek and catch a fish. Like, he's living like Tarzan. And he'd go out and find the crocodiles that people wanted dead. Acco, you saw, he's got an amazing story. He was in a region called Cattle Creek, an amazing, really kind of deep, dark region of northern Australia where there's big, gnarly crocs. He was just this ghost. Everyone knew him in the area, and everyone had a lot of fear for this croc. Big, dark, just monster crocodile. And he started taking people's cows. People didn't like that, so they were going to kill him. And Dad spent 2 years straight reading the river, staying on that river every single day, because crocs are hard to catch, mate. And after many, many, many years, he caught this croc, much to his disappointment. He didn't want to remove this beautiful big croc from the ecosystem, but he managed to catch a 16-foot croc all on his own, bring it back to Australia Zoo, and that was 40 years ago. This croc was known as one of the big old boys. He could be 100 years plus, and now I get to go in there with him every single day and spend time with him. And you look back at the old footage of Dad getting in there feeding Acco. I get to go in and do the same thing. It fills my heart with a lot of pride, and more than anything, I'd hope he'd be proud. But, it's impressive, isn't it? You get to see him firsthand. How's that jaw pop? Did you notice that?
I noticed it.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
It sounded like a car crash.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's incredible. What about growing up in the zoo? Like, you mentioned about, you know, your dad growing up in the bush, but you grew up in this place that just seems like a bit of a wonderland. You know, but is it all the exciting playing with crocs, or is it picking up croc poo as well?
Yeah, mate, it's all of that. It's all of that. Absolutely, yeah. It comes with its challenges, you know. It comes with its challenges, but I live the kind of life that I think most kids would absolutely just dream of. It's a huge
I don't think so, Slurt. He admires his
the
dad.
luckiest kid in the world. Growing up in a zoo, it does not get much better than that. And some of my earliest memories are the most just ridiculous. One of my earliest memories was pretty funny. This was back in the day. We first gotten our tigers at Australia Zoo, right? And this is a good example of what my dad was like as well. Just a force of nature. Never knew what was going to happen. He would get up at 2 a.m. every morning. Anyway, it was about 6 a.m. He bashes on the door at our house. We live right in zoo grounds. And he's like, "Oh, Terry, Bindi, Bob, get out here. I got a surprise for you." So we walk outside, and under the clothesline is a Sumatran tiger, just sitting under the clothesline, right? And we're like, all right, okay. And he's like, we've got tigers now. And we're like, hey, cool, that's awesome, good to know. So that was what it's like living at the zoo. Every morning, he'd load us up onto his motorbike. We'd go around, do the morning checks. We'd have ice cream for breakfast, and then we'd jump in and let the wombats out for the morning and play around with them, and then we'd go wrangle a snake. It's just go, go, go every day. And the amount of life lessons I learnt living in this kind of environment, every day you learn from your mistakes, you learn from the trials and tribulations, and more than anything, my family in this environment has instilled this ethos to treat all living.
Y'all say shit in the chat like you think I'm gonna fuck any of you. You're like, I have no idea how different you look without makeup. And another guy is like, I don't like titties though. Apologies. I'm more of a butthole man. Like, it's okay. You can like booty. You can be gay. You can not like my face. It's fine. The result's all the same whether you like it or you hate or you don't. I'm not gonna fuck you.
Living beings, how you want to be treated.
It's crazy.
Tell me about your mother.
All right.
Single mother.
I'm just here.
She managed this zoo, but beyond that, it's like an entire Irwin brand around the world as well.
I cannot tell you how much just respect and admiration I have for my mum. And I don't think I really fully understood, fully grasped what a powerful human being and brave human being she is and was until I really started to kind of step into adulthood, like in my teenage years, and now I'm officially an adult, which is so surreal. It feels so weird, it feels wrong. But I realise now and only now what she's been through, like raising children. For mum to do that, of course, without dad, and to lose this sounding board, the person who you count on, like that, I mean, the rug's just taken out from under you. I am so impressed that not only did she raise us kids, she could have sold the zoo and just raised us, and we just squirreled away and lived a little hidden life. That's not the wrong thing to do. If you experience a loss and you just want to live your own little life, that's perfectly fine. But she could see this legacy that he started, and she said, you know what, I'm making sure that this is going to continue and grow and get bigger and better every single year. And she did just that. So she raised us, she kept the zoo going through some tough times, and I get emotional just thinking about it. She's just an absolute Wonder Woman, a force of nature. And, everyone saw Dad as this larger-than-life character, which he was in real life, 120% every single day. But, Mum's the one who's kept it going. It's pretty special.
What about boundaries when you are growing up in the park? Now, my mum, I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
But I had boundaries, right? There was a river that I wasn't allowed to cross. There was a border on that edge of the property that we couldn't go past.
Yeah.
What sort of boundaries did your mum give you in the zoo?
You can't feed crocs till you're 10 years old. That was the biggest one. From the time I could talk, right? I'm like, when can I feed a crocodile? When can I feed a crocodile? Is it today? Can I feed a crocodile yet? It was just constant. Poor thing, she was just hounded every day. Because, from a young age, the first time I ever got taken in with a crocodile, I was a month old. Wasn't controversial at all, was it? So, I've always had a connection with these animals. It's a part of me. It's a connection to Dad. And Dad instilled from a very young age just a love for crocs, right? So, which you can see. I mean, you saw it today. I love them so much. And
couldn't do it today. They would fucking grill you.
I at a young age, but it's almost like his passion was there for my formative years. For my earliest memories, it was just saturated with his enthusiasm, his passion. And so I feel like that's just factory settings for me, is that same kind of enthusiasm and spark and passion. So poor mum, it was just, I need to feed a crocodile. So that was the biggest boundary. She was like, right. She thought long and hard, and she went, okay, once you turn 10, you can run quick enough. You've got enough brain power in there. I trust you. Once you get to double digits, you can start feeding crocodiles. So for my 10th birthday, that was my gift. She said, all right, it's in the Crocosseum. There's 5,000 people there, right? I felt like Gladiator, stepping into the Colosseum. And little 10-year-old Robert, I'm just filled with excitement. Best day of my whole life, right? And I step out there. I still remember it. It was Monty. I fed Monty. He comes out, got
Aw.
my piece of food. I've got my back up right there, like grabbed onto my shirt.
The hair.
Just to make sure. And I get out there, I throw
Not
in
the
a piece
bowl
of food. I wasn't
cut.
pushing it as close as I do these days, mind you. And it was a very proud moment. But stuff like that is it's a different kind of milestone, you know. When you grow up in the country, you grow up in the bush, you grow up in a zoo. It's different, you know. You learn the rules of working in this kind of environment. You know, it's similar to the road rules. It was always, you know, from a young age, Mum would always say, you know, this is a hot snake, can't touch that one. Don't touch this one. That means it's venomous, right? So that was okay. Don't touch the venomous ones. And she'd say, this one is non-venomous. That's a python. You can go for that. You know, so from the time I'm 3 years old, it's these kind of lessons. That snake you can't touch, that one you can, you know. But how did you find that, like, growing up on a farm like that and out in the country, like, did you find a similar thing?
Avoid the pointy end of the snake.
Yes, that's a big one.
That's probably the biggest
Yeah.
one. It was always be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
That's probably the most. And if you're nervous, just make as much noise as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Your way back home. That was probably the best advice that I ever got. Most of wildlife where I grew up wanted to avoid you.
Exactly.
But with you, you weren't just navigating the farm. You were navigating a world, right? Like you're navigating Jimmy Fallon. You know, honestly, I've never laughed so much as that footage of you introducing Kevin Hart.
So this is Big Red. So she's a big tarantula. She's so cool.
Hey man, are you sure?
No.
She's beautiful. She's great. Be honest with you. Stay. You better stay your ass over there, man. He's 14 years old.
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
Oh, mate, it was so much fun.
That was a good night.
You see someone's fear, but you know they're safe.
Yeah.
For some reason, that just makes it.
Yeah.
Makes it amazing.
But that's what it's all about, is introducing might not really love wildlife. Like, for you and me, you know, talking to you, you've grown up around wildlife. We've got that understanding, that respect, and you know how to live out in the country, out in nature. But for a lot of people, they just don't experience that. So doing things like the Tonight Show with Fallon and getting to introduce people to these animals who are pretty fearful. It's funny, but it's also pretty special. You know, it's cool. And he came around to it after a while. But
does your mum, does she give you like, oh yeah, you talk about this kind of thing?
Yeah. See, this is the interesting thing. Navigating that kind of public eye world, it's crazy, and you would know that. You know, we both sort of know what that world is like. It's far more challenging than coming up against a crocodile. That's for sure, mate. It was interesting. My mum was always really passionate to say that, you know, it's your call. It's on your terms, and you do what you want to do. I feel really bad, particularly in Australia. There was always so much scrutiny around, you know, as with anything, the way a parent raises a child. I don't know why we have this backwards notion that we feel entitled, that we get to judge everything a parent does. You know, it's really silly. But the thing is with Mum, she was always saying, you know what, you follow your own path. If this isn't for you, if the zoo world isn't for you, that's fine. If you want to go be an astronaut, go for it. But that's never been questioned for me. This isn't what I do. This is who I am. I've always just absolutely loved every part of what I get to do. And dealing with the public eye, Mum gave me so much advice in you know, how to manage that. Because it's a tough thing when you're growing up and every little thing you do could be on the front page of the news. You
Yeah,
know?
how much of yourself do you share? You know, like how do like.
It's interesting in a way, so much, and then in a very real way, I'm a very private person in my personal life. You know, we will have a documentary series, you know, that'll go to millions and millions of people, but when we're at home at the zoo, when it's me, my mum, my sister, my brother-in-law Chandler, when it's, and of course Grace now, my little niece, when it's us, it's just us. You know, no one really comes into our actual house at the zoo. It's our little cave, a little escape, you know, from the world. And it's so important through all the crazy stuff that you go through in life, through loss, through grief, through
Recovering
the ups, the
idiot.
downs,
Shut
the
up.
public eye scrutiny.
You're blabbering about something I don't give a fuck about. I don't even know if you know what you're talking about.
Have your back who know
Go
your
away.
true north, know what you're about.
Please be
and
sane
are
if you're gonna
always
speak in
there
my
for you.
chat,
And-
or else I'm
and
gonna get
my
pissed.
family's
I hate
just that,
stupid
particularly
people.
my
I
mum.
hate high
She's just a
people,
guiding light
and I
for
hate
me,
insane
and
people.
she is
And that's
so
a lot of
open
people
about
who
talking
yap
about Dad
on the
as well,
internet.
which I love.
I hate
Dad's
all
always
of
been
y'all.
part of my life. Lost him
The rest of
too,
you are
but,
fine.
you know, she's
Alright.
always telling stories and always wants him to be part of every day.
It is what it is.
And you walk around the zoo, you feel him, you see him everywhere. You know, as a kid growing up, I remember 3, 4 years old, she'd show the old documentaries of Dad. You know, she'd be like, "Look, every morning, I want to watch a Daddy doc."
You can stay if you
She'd
give money,
put
though.
it on, and
That's okay.
it was just this form of connection. And you know, she, as I started to get older, you know, you learn these lessons of, listen, this is just the reality of it. You know, when you go out.
I
in the
like
world,
stupid people
you
better
know,
if they give a lot of
people
money.
Want to come and say good day and take a photo with you.
It
and
made me
it's-
hate you less.
It's always been part of my life and always been something I've navigated. But it's all thanks to my mum that I can hopefully take it all in my stride and navigate it well. It's a weird world, but on the other hand of being in that public eye, I also feel a great deep responsibility to not take that for granted and to not,
Oink,
not
oink.
throw that away. I want to spread a message of hope,
Indeed.
a message of conservation, to talk about big environmental issues. I want to use this
He didn't shut up, so
platform
I'm
to
banned.
make a difference.
There we
And
go.
that was all my family instilling that into me to say,
Had his
"Mate,
chance.
you've got a
Try to
platform,
warn.
you're in the public eye, you can use that for good." And it's a special thing. So, and it's exactly what you do, mate. You know, I honestly, mate, I follow what you do, and it's meaningful, it's inspiring, it's positive, and it's awesome to watch.
I don't deal well with praise, so I'm going to switch this around.
That's fine. No, that's fine. You don't need to. It's all good. But
Well,
you understand that, you know.
With that conversation, is that why photography is so important to you?
Yeah.
I've seen some of your photos and they're just
Thanks, mate.
incredible. But is
Appreciate
that the pathway that you get to share and you get to show a part of the world that many people may not have seen?
Exactly. Yeah, and you know what? Photography it has become my sort of individual way to carry on my family's legacy, you know, because I can showcase the beauty of nature and also the stark contrast of this is what's at stake. This is what's happening. You know, when we had our bushfire crisis, I was down in Kangaroo Island with a team from Australia Zoo rendering aid with the armed forces and with the amazing wildlife carers down there to try and just recover from absolute Armageddon. And you'd walk out there, step out of the army rig, and you look at this barren wasteland, and there's just dead, singed koala bodies as far as the eye can see, and you just see that and you
Dude,
go,
he might be in a
"You've
wheelchair,
got a
but
camera
bro
with
is
you." And
ripped.
I just took heaps of photos. One of those images was awarded in a photography, you know, big gallery thing, and when you can get an image like that
That's
from
so
the front
sad.
line and say, "Hey guys, listen, this is what we're fighting for. This is what's at stake." I mean, we're losing an Australian icon right before our eyes. It's time to start addressing climate change. Now is the time. So if I can use photography, my passion, my artistic kind of mind, to forge ahead my mission, then I'm doing my job, and it's a great honour to do that. So.
How do you feel in that advocacy role? Like, you seem so comfortable around a crop. But how do you feel, like, speaking publicly and creating this platform that is encouraging the world to kind of join you in our space?
It's daunting. It can definitely be daunting because it's actually a very polarizing thing. When you start talking about climate change, it's a very polarizing thing. It's sadly still to this day, there's a lot of people who just don't want to believe it. They just want to say, it doesn't exist, it's all too big, it's all too much, I can't do anything about it. No, just no. You know, and so if you want to stand up and be vocal about things like climate change, you know, and the like, these big issues that are controversial, looking at habitat destruction and saying, you know, we're expanding and growing at an unsustainable rate. If you want to really start pinpointing the big issues facing the world, you're going to face a lot of scrutiny. So it is daunting standing up and saying that, especially for me at a young age. Sometimes you know, there's people far older than me who've had even more, you know, life experience. But you know, you've really got to just find that confidence within yourself. You got to take that leap. You got to jump off the mountain, and you just got to stick to your guns and try and affect as much positive change as you can, because we don't know how long we're around. Who knows? I could be dead tomorrow. So I just want to spread as much positivity and get that word out there to as many people as I can.
Does that have a bit of pressure to it? Do you feel the pressure?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's impossible not to feel a sense of responsibility and a sense of pressure. Even just in the fact that, you know, I have a platform, and so I sort of have this responsibility to make change. You know, this is my thing. This is what I do, and it can be hard to navigate that world and to be in the public eye, because it's funny for me. I want to go out and say, you know, I want to use my platform to make change and say, oh, let's talk about climate change. Let's save this species. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then in the tabloid, it's like, you know,
I think Australian's the best accent.
Fifth child or whatever, or Robert's married whoever. I'm like, mate, I'm 18, that's not happening. Or, you know, Terry Irwin's having an affair with Prince Charles, or now King Charles. Which that's real, by the way. That's actually happened. Like, the stuff that you see is so funny. So sometimes you just go, I'm just here for the wildlife. I'm here to spread a message about conservation. So there is sometimes a lot of pressure when you go to the grocery store and there's paparazzi taking photos of you, and it can get to you sometimes.
Well, how do you remain to be you in the middle of that?
It's the people around you. It is, and that's what I think about every day. It's the people around you. It's your support unit, and it's also it's being able to laugh at yourself as well. It's being able to go, you know, that's the fluff. That's the opinionated stuff. People will always have their point of view, but as long as you know your direction, you know your mission, you know your purpose, you know the message you want to get out there, that anxiety of being in the public eye, it quickly fades away when you know your mission, you know what you want to get to. And I'm very lucky that I found my purpose in life from a young age, you know.
I feel like I never met your dad, but I feel like a huge bunch of the country. It's like he had this real visceral relationship with you. How do you navigate that space where it's like you share, you know, the legacy of your father with the world?
Yeah. That's a funny thing, and you know, it's interesting. A lot of people ask me about that. You know, it must be challenging when you're constantly reminded of your dad. You know, and everyone, you walk down the street and people will stop you and go, tell a story about the effect that Dad had on them.
Well, I saw when you were with the crocodile. I just, I could see your dad. You know, like it's just.
Thank you.
That I get chills about it, because it was like looking back in time.
You know, that's the thing. When I hear something like that, that is the greatest compliment I can receive. 100%. That's the greatest thing anyone can ever say. If someone says, you know, oh man, you just remind me so much of your dad when you did this, or what was it like when your dad did that, or and there are people who said, oh, you know, I met your dad once when I visited the zoo, and he was just so passionate, and he did this and he did that. It gives me a little piece of him back, you know, every time I hear a story like that. It goes straight to my heart, and it means the absolute world. Because every new story I hear, every time someone has that connection to Dad, you know, I feel that even greater. I feel that connection to him even more. It's a very, very special thing. He just showed us the value of living 100% every single day. Because, you know, it's something I think about. Losing someone close to you at a young age suddenly, it makes you think the fragility of life and how fleeting it really is. You know, it goes by like that. And so we can't delay. You know, we have to live our lives to the fullest. We have to surround ourselves with the people we love. We got to support the people we love, and we got to put in that time. And Dad, more than anything else, was all about family. So, you know, especially close to the end of his life, he spent so much time with my sister and I. In amongst the craziness, the action, there was always time for us kids. No matter what, always there for us. And, you know, he was just 100% about family, and that means so much to me. And, yeah, you know, anytime I get that a comparison to Dad, it's amazing.
It's hard to You're right.
Yeah, I'm like 100%.
It's hard to even comprehend your journey so far. When we met, I felt like I knew you, and I find it tough to get my head around that you're only 18 and you have this massive future ahead of you. It's exciting to think about what contribution you'll make and what impact you'll make. But where do you see the path for Robert Irwin?
Oh, mate, where do I start? I have just a massive, just drive. I feel like there's just such a fire in my belly. Every morning when I wake up, I want to seize the day. I want to take on every challenge. I want to try everything. I want to do absolutely everything I can to continue this mission, to continue this legacy, and to find my own path, to forge my own path. That's what it's all about for me. With everything going on in the world, I feel like our planet Earth needs an advocate from the next generation. Our planet Earth needs someone, a young, fresh perspective to come in here and say, listen, this is what needs to be done. And to bring the beauty and wonder of our natural world to the world. And I feel like that's my place. So I want to tackle that in front of the camera and behind the camera. I want to carry on in my dad's footsteps. I want to start doing the same sort of documentary shows he was doing. I want to, which I've gotten to do a lot of in my career, in my life, which has been awesome. But I want to take on bigger opportunities. I want to have a global voice and to be able to spread this message to everyone on planet Earth. You got to stand up for what you believe, and you got to live every day to the fullest. And I want to take on every single challenge. World domination. Let's go.
Well, I'm on board. I can't wait to see what's next.
I'm excited.
Thanks for joining me on 1+1.
It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute honour. You're welcome back here anytime, and get you in there feeding crocs next time. Cheers, legend. It's been awesome.
We can keep them in there for a bit.
Goodness! Hello, world! Yes! Woo, indeed! What is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte, and we're here live at the Build Studio in New York City. Now, my next guest's new show, Crikey, is The Irwins, makes its worldwide premiere Sunday, October 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Animal Planet. In it, you get to tag along as they travel the globe protecting and celebrating the most wondrous animals on Earth, all while running Australia's largest family-owned zoo. It is a wonderful show. It gives you a real appreciation for their tireless efforts to carry on the family's legacy and their mission to bring people closer to animals, ensuring an abundance of wildlife for generations to come. They do some incredible work. They are legendary. They are here. They are the Irwins, folks. Terry, Bindi, Robert, they're all in the house. How about that right now? You guys excited? I'm excited. I'm excited. Sounds like you are as well. We're going to bring them out in just a second, but first we have a quick look at the show, so let's go ahead and run that clip.
Steve and I often talked about our big dream for Australia Zoo, to make it the best zoological facility on planet Earth. It's really more of a resort for wildlife. You're able to experience them hands-on. You see them, you feel them. You discover a koala smells like eucalyptus, that a binturong smells like popcorn. It's amazing.
We want to make sure that there's an abundance of wildlife in a beautiful world for the generations to come. It's all about encouraging people to fall in love with wildlife and make a difference on the planet.
With everything that we do, we're ultimately trying to continue Dad's legacy. We really are kicking the goals that he originally set.
We went from a few animals to 1,200 animals.
Sheesh.
We've expanded our conservation properties. We've got a wildlife hospital now that's treated over 76,000 animals. I'm very proud of being part of something that is now even bigger than when Steve was here.
The future is looking so beautiful. We have so much on the horizon.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Terry, Robert, Bindi, Erwin, they're all right here. It's the Erwins.
Thank you.
Oh goodness. Guys, congratulations on this show. I got a chance to see the pilot and see the first episode, and it is fantastic. You are fantastic. I'm very excited for you. How are you doing? How's everybody doing right now?
Thank you. We're so excited.
Yeah.
Crikey, it's good to be here.
There we are.
Crikey!
Crikey, it's the Owens, that's us.
Yeah, no, I'm just, yeah, you have to stop and think. It's been 12 years since we've been doing anything with Animal Planet, so it's everyone is rebooting, so why not?
Why not?
It's been so much fun too to now finally be able to share with everyone what we're up to, because every day is so busy at Australia Zoo, and with all of the wildlife conservation work that we're doing, it's just getting bigger and bigger every year. So now everyone gets to come with us on our journey.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing to see. We hear some of the numbers, the amount of animals and things like that. Here's what I really want to know. How long did it take to come up with the title? Was that the first thing?
Not long.
I think so. I think Crikey has been a part of our lives for many years now, thanks to Dad. And you know, it just kind of is our catchphrase. Everyone needs a good catchphrase, and Crikey works for anything. It means like, wow, or golly gosh. So, you know,
Golly gosh.
golly gosh. If it's your birthday, you'd say, Crikey, it's my birthday. If you stub your toe, you'd say, Crikey, that really hurt. It works for everything, so you're welcome to use it anytime.
I think your dad had the dubious distinction of being a college drinking game.
Oh dear.
Every time he'd say, Crikey,
Crikey.
you'd have a shot.
Well, that's nice too. You know, it works for many things.
But
It really does.
Attitude. Oh, okay, that's nice too. Gosh golly, all right.
Crikey.
Yeah, okay, they drank. That's good. That's really good.
We
You know-
need to get you khaki now, though.
Oh,
I honestly think, because we always say khaki is not just a color, it's an attitude. And I feel like you're part of our Wildlife Warriors team now.
well, one, that is an honor. I would wear the khaki with pride, yeah, no doubt. But two, my complexion, I blend into it. I become this amorphous beige blob. I need contrast.
That's
Otherwise-
okay.
But we'll have to.
Okay.
Maybe if I come down and get some sun, that might work.
We'll work
I don't
on it
know.
together.
We'll work on that together.
Yeah.
Here's another question I was wondering about. Terry, I want you to. You know, were you ever nervous for even a half a second when they were young that, man, what if they're not into animals? Because you guys, as a family, I've seen the passion individually before, but there's something beautiful about the passion all of you share, and it is such a genuine, real passion. Even in the green room, we had a passing question about tarantulas, and all of you jumped on it as if there was a six-camera
love
crew.
tarantulas.
No, but like the amount of information, the enthusiasm, just for an audience of two, you guys were still there. It is so in your blood. Was there a part of you like, what are we gonna do if they don't like animals? Like, did that ever cross your mind?
It is dangerous to ask us an animal question, first of all. But in any event, I remember when Steve first suggested we have children. So we've been filming for about 6 years. And Steve used to fire stare, only literally. He'd go in the backyard, build a fire, and stare at it. And then he'd come in the evening, and one night... Nowadays, men fire stare by watching football or, you know, but he would actually build a fire. So he'd come in, and one night he came running in. I think he said something like, Crikey, we...
See, there's that Crikey
Not
again.
100% on that opening line, but it's a safe bet.
We have to have children. He goes, who are we going to leave this all to? But I'm the one who said, you know, if you have kids, there's no guarantee they're going to do what you do or even like it. And he's like, no, we're gonna have children. They're gonna love conservation and wildlife and carry on. And at that point in my life, you know, I was, 33? I was cool with it. I was cool with the thought of having a child. And
We're glad that you're into that idea.
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
so I went, well, I'm good with it. But
We are so
you know,
on
there is not a word in the English language to describe Steve because he was the opposite of a procrastinator, which is just as annoying. But he was like, we're going to have children. And I'm going, you know, there's this whole gestation thing. You can't just go, boom, you know. So, but we had Bindi pretty much right away after that. And I'll be darned if he wasn't right. That's the other annoying thing about Steve. He was pretty much always right. Anyway, yeah. And the best part of our lives together was definitely Bindi and Robert.
I mean, for Bindi and myself, I don't think we could. I couldn't imagine doing anything else other than what we do. I wouldn't trade it for the world, honestly.
I gotta
living
poop.
at the zoo, growing up there, and having the parents that we've had, it'd be hard not to be passionate about wildlife.
You would think so, right? Well, here's the flip side of that question: is if you can think back, I don't know what's your first, but what's your earliest memory of wildlife? You grew up on the zoo. Yeah. I think in this episode, Robert, we see like when you were 10, you got to feed a croc or something like that.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
what's your
Good parenting.
Yeah, what's
that's safe. That's safety right there.
as you go back in your mind, if you can recall, like, do you know when it sort of clicked and you're like, I do love this. This is good for me.
I think one of my earliest memories, see, we were always around wildlife growing up. It was wonderful. But I can remember one of my earliest memories. We were traveling. This is before Robert was born. And I love you, and I wish you were there too. But before you were born, there's about 5.5 years difference between me and Robert. But we were out traveling near Western Australia on this really big boat filming for Crocodile Hunter. And we were all there together as a family. And what was so extraordinary is one evening, as the sun was setting, this pod of dolphins came swimming towards our boat. So Dad, being Dad, he said, well, let's jump in with them. And I was so little that I put my little floaties on because it's the open ocean. We're in the middle of the ocean. So who knows what's in the ocean? It was really exciting. So we jump in and I held on to Dad's shoulders and we swam out to these dolphins. And as the sun set, the dolphins were jumping over my head. And it's the most vivid memory just to see these dolphins. They were bringing their babies up. And all I could think was, how incredible. Yeah.
Do you realize, and I've said this to other people before, but I think I mean it more now this time, you live in a Disney movie.
I do.
Do you realize that?
I feel like I do.
The sun's setting and baby dolphins are coming around and they're...
It's true.
All right.
Yeah, and it's so special.
Amazing.
And how incredible that as a family, we're able to share all of these experiences with so many people through our documentary filming. So that's why we're so excited about our brand new show, because we're bringing people on the adventure with us to be able to say, you know, you can have these amazing experiences and you can change the world and believe in your strength to make a difference on the planet. It's so special.
It's hard not to be moved by that experience, and that's what's great about your show is bringing that unique experience into everybody's living rooms. Robert, top that.
Sorry, buddy.
Good luck,
Yeah, yes. That is a very hard one to top, that's for sure. Well, I think you're right, that really was very Disney movie-ish. That's
very
incredible.
special.
And then the whale breached over. Yeah. And then the unicorn popped up.
Elton John was there, he was singing.
A floating piano. Well, see, for me, I think my first memory of actually being involved with wildlife was on one of the earliest crocodile research trips. Yeah. So every year, my dad started these trips. We'd go up north to far north Queensland, really remote, like these mangrove mud swamps in the middle of nowhere, to actually trap and capture crocodiles, wild crocodiles. And he joined up with the University of Queensland to do this groundbreaking research on these animals. And so my most vivid memory was on my first crocodile research trip. I was only like 2 years old. And the way you do it, you can't actually tranquilize crocs. You can't like blow dart them and then they fall asleep because it's really bad for them. So you actually have to pull them out of the trap and then jump on top of them to hold them down. You do all the science and then you release them again. It's all quick and amazing. And all of this, Dad really perfected this technique. So I remember it was the first time I'd ever seen a crocodile up close. And we're all with this beautiful female. She was about, I'd say, 8 or 9 feet long. And Dad, being Dad, he got us involved. So it was never, we were never separate to it. We were right in there helping. So I remember he let us come in and actually experience this crocodile before it was released. We got to come in and feel its feet and feel its breath blowing up into our face and just see how prehistoric these animals really are. They're like dinosaurs. So that first moment for me is what instilled a passion for wildlife and for crocs especially. So it was a really special moment.
There's a lot I want to unpack there, but Terry, I want to ask you a question. Just as, you know, Steve was always right, was there ever a debate about the right age to bring them around the crocs? Like, obviously, Steve knew and had a great awareness of how to behave around these creatures, but to hear these stories, why would you ever be afraid of anything? There's dolphins, let's go swim with them. Here's a croc, let's go hang out with them. Was there ever a talk of, like, is there a reason to be scared? No, I'm not scared. I know what I'm doing. Like, was that a conversation you guys had?
Yes, sorry, I'm just thinking of my earliest memory of Steve when he was rocking those shorts. Sorry, I was just reflecting. Okay, and back. Safety, yes. Safety is important.
You're amazing.
You know, the really special thing about having kids is we said what everyone says. Our lives won't change after we have children. That's a lie. Your life will change. Your life changes if you get a puppy. This is a person. So first of all, I learned that love at first sight is possible. I met Steve. When Bindi was born, same thing happened. Robert was born, same thing happened. We just loved them. But we did make that determination, and all credit to the film crew and the people that we worked with that we got to take our kids along. And Bindi was 6 days old when she went on her first documentary shoot. She was 10 days old coming with us internationally. We barely got a passport. And same with Robert. I think you were about a month old when we hit the road. That's the difference, is kind of incorporating Bindi and Robert into our lives. Yeah. And if you grow up and your mother or father are an electrician, you probably don't go to work with them every day and see what they're doing and learn as you grow up. They had this distinct advantage of being with wildlife in the wild and at the zoo. And keep in mind, we do live in the middle of Australia Zoo. If you climb over the fence, you're in with some of the biggest crocodiles you've ever seen. So from an early age, it's like, you know, this snake is venomous. We learned hot was an easier word. Don't touch that, it's hot. Don't climb that fence.
You'll be eaten by a crocodile.
Yeah.
Which indeed is hot.
So,
It's very hot over there.
Very, very warm. So we probably won't talk about the other two kids I had. But anyway, no, I'm kidding.
They climbed the fence.
They climbed the fence. Don't do that.
No, that was a terrible joke. But actually,
it was actually really funny. It made me laugh.
Bindi and Robert are very safe with wildlife because that's all they've known. They've grown up with it, and it's knowing what you know. And Steve used to say that. He'd say, "I couldn't be an electrician. One flash, I'd be ash." And they have had this great advantage. Do we ever know everything? No. Do you still have to be careful? Sure. But what we're missing is we're going further and further away from wildlife and nature. Yeah. We have met children who have never climbed a tree. What? People who have never gone camping, people who are afraid of butterflies when they fly by. And you just go, really? So if we can bring you closer to nature and make you want to experience it more, that would be awesome.
I think you guys do a great job of that. Just in this first episode that I got to see, and we talked about, Robert, your passion for crocs, and it's funny, like it doesn't, it's not fear, there's more of like a respect. Like you guys respect the reality of what's in front of you. And like I'm watching you prep for your croc thing and I'm like, that's intense. And then I was like, oh, Bindi's, okay, she's hanging out with the koalas. That's more my speed. And then with this lovely delivery and smile, you explain that a koala bite looks much like a hot knife through butter. And I was like, nothing is safe. How do they do it? How do they do it?
They do have a serious bite. But I will give koalas this. So koalas in the wild, they look like a teddy bear. So you have to be a little scary if you're a teddy bear. You've got to be able to bite. Totally. But when we have our wildlife hospital, and we've rescued and rehabilitated over 77,000 animals. Sick, injured, orphaned animals. It has been so special. It was opened up in honor of Lynn Irwin, who is our grandmother, Dad's mum. She passed away just before I turned 2. And she loved all animals so much and really tried to help to protect them for the generations to come. So we opened up the wildlife hospital in her memory. And today, we get about 800 koalas a year into the wildlife hospital. And that's because of disease, dog and cat attack, too many cars on the road where the koalas are trying to cross. But we take them from the wild and we rehabilitate them and then release them back out into the wild. So they have this really wonderful second chance at life where they wouldn't have made it if we weren't there helping them to recover. But what's amazing is that these koalas come into the wildlife hospital, and after the first couple of days, it's almost as if they understand we're trying to help them. So at first they're trying to scratch at you and bite you, and then a few days later they're going, thank you for feeding us and we'll give you cuddles, and it's the most amazing experience. And then when we release them, it's this bittersweet moment where you go, I hope you do good, but I'm so glad that we got you back out into the wild. And that's what it's all about. This is what we live for, is taking care of our animals so that my children and my grandchildren can grow up in a world with clean air, fresh drinking water, and an abundance of wildlife forever. And we're all in this together. As a society, we have to work together to make a difference, because it's up to us. The footprints that we leave on the earth today are going to affect the generations to come. But I think to be able to make a difference on the planet, we first have to find that love and light and balance within ourselves and with our fellow humans. And then we can start to make a change on the planet.
Let's go ahead and hold for applause. Right? Like,
thank you.
That, for me, verbally, that was my dolphins in the sunset moment. That was beautiful. That's so well spoken.
I always say everything that Bindi says is like an inspirational quote.
Right?
Like every sentence is like Gandhi has said it. It's amazing.
I love you.
There was a question I really wanted to ask, because I wrote down his name. I think it was Hunter, the blind tiger that we get to meet. And, you know, the way everyone sort of, Hunter is so sweet in the show, and everyone's petting Hunter. And he's a big tiger. He's a tiger. He's huge. And you mentioned how the koalas, they come around. Is that something universal that you find? Are there animals that you were surprised by that after working with them a little bit kind of warmed up to you, other than the koalas? Is that an experience you've shared?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, definitely. There's a lot of animals that are like that. Hunter is a prime example, because unfortunately for a lot of animals, when they lose their sight or, you know, lose a really important sense like that, I mean, it's either fight or flight. Usually they become really shy. Sometimes they might lash out. They don't know what's going on.
Scared.
But if you have this kind of bond with your animals, if you can really form this trust, they don't do that. They really understand that you're trying to help them. You mean them no harm, and you kind of are on that one-on-one level. So it's like that with really any animal that you encounter. If you have that love and respect for them and treat them with kindness, then they'll certainly reciprocate that. So I think it's kind of a lesson in life, is to treat all humans and animals the way that you would wish to be treated. I think the only animal that doesn't really come around are crocodiles. They usually always just try to eat you, but you can still love them and respect them. But other than that, yeah, most of the time they'll really understand that you're trying to help them.
But Hunter is so special because he's blind. So
Yeah.
he was born and had terrible eyesight problems. And if he was in the wild, he wouldn't have survived. But at Australia Zoo, what's extraordinary is because he's blind, he relies on us for that reassurance. So now we teach him, you know, this is where to walk and we'll give you food. And it's this wonderful bond. We had a little girl who came into Australia Zoo, and she was so sweet, but she had eye problems as well. And she was going to lose her sight within 5 years. And she was the most brave little soul. She was extraordinary. But we introduced her to Hunter, and she said, I'm so glad I got to meet Hunter before I went blind, because now I have this kind of inspirational partner in eye health, you know? We're going through it together. And she said she really connected with Hunter, because she went, if Hunter can get through this and he's a tiger, then I can too. And it's so special. The stories that we've had with our animals changing people's lives is amazing. And that's what we want. We want you to come to Australia Zoo and just experience our animals and fall in love with the koalas or the tigers, and to be able to take home this greater knowledge of our world and our creatures that we live alongside. So how special is that? Wasn't that amazing, though, when she came in to meet Hunter?
It was a beautiful story, and Hunter's story is amazing. And that's the difference when you're hands-on with your wildlife, that they benefit the most. It's really special.
It's pretty incredible. We've got a bunch of questions. We're gonna go to the audience in a second, but I do wanna, the show opens with a beautiful video of Steve saying, like, for him, you know, and for you guys, the goal, like, he'll know he's done when the family carries on the torch. And Terry, you told us about that revelation, that moment that hit him. You're very young, you're very early in the career, but have you given any thought to like what your North Star is? I'll know I'm done when I've achieved this, when I get to this point. Have you thought about that at all? Or are you just enjoying the adventure right now?
That's a really good question. Absolutely. And I think for us being still quite young, I think the older we get, the more we really want to take on.
Feel a little
the more
lighter.
we really want to conquer and achieve. So we really want to take on bigger issues. And I know for Bindi, she's been passionate about so many different issues as she's gotten older. And she's been a big inspiration to myself as well, because what we really want to do, and one of my biggest passions is inspiring other young people, because that's the most important thing. If we can inspire the next generation to be passionate about what they love, to follow their dreams and their passion about
Because people keep spamming
that's
doing
really
the
how
X
we're gonna
glitch
change the world. So
in
I
the
think
chat.
that's always been a big mission of mine, and I think really for us it's all about doing exactly what Dad said in that video. And I think we are to the point in our lives now where we're ready to continue his mission. We're ready to run up his cause and make sure that that message, that voice that he had, I mean, he reached so many millions, to make sure that never fades away, that people are always thinking about him, the effect that he had, and making his work bigger and better, really to spread that message.
Dad always said, I don't care if people remember me, I care if people remember my message. And I feel exactly the same way, where I really truly believe that we've been put here for a reason and a purpose, to affect positive change on the planet and inspire other people to get involved. And it's interesting because you don't have to be a full-on conservationist to make a difference. It's just like you don't have to be a chef to appreciate fine food. You don't have to be an extraordinary singer to love music. And you don't have to be a full-on conservationist to make a difference on the planet. So if I'm able to just encourage a few people along the way to make a difference on the planet and clean up your local park, or turn off the tap while you brush your teeth, then I've done my job. And I think that as I get older, I really hope to see some wonderful change on the planet, where we start considering our footprints on the earth today. And when I have kids, I hope they grow up in a world with a beautiful environment and a peaceful place where we all just get along and love each other and love our earth. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on love and light for the whole world. Let's do that together.
It's amazing. Terry, did you want to? I saw the mic go up.
Oh, I just was contemplating world domination.
so
but that
wholesome.
probably doesn't really fit in with those goals. But yeah, realistically though, the biggest challenge we have on planet Earth right now is our human population. There's no one single problem that does not stem from human overpopulation. And we had a friend who passed away in 2009. Ruth was 104 years old. When Ruth was born, there was no such thing as sliced bread. There were no zippers, and there was no such thing as plastic. It didn't exist. She lived in a sod hut. She never saw a car till she was 10. Her father sold horses the way we sell cars now. But what was most interesting is when Ruth was born, there were 1.5 billion people on the planet, and when she died, it was pushing 7 billion. That's one woman's lifetime. So why we aren't more terrified about that, I don't know. Because we want to see people do better with their lives. And when you talk about wildlife conservation, it's really ultimately about conserving ourselves and having a good lifestyle. And it's great if you want to have a big family, but not everyone has a choice. And you'll certainly do better if you're living on $2 a day with 5 kids than 10. So these are issues we can't keep dodging forever. We're going to have to start talking about it and being involved politically, being involved with your community, all of these things to make a difference is so important.
I think that's why Dad came up with the term wildlife warrior, though. He really was the one who said, we are wildlife warriors. We're standing up and speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves. And we'll always stand back to back as a little family in khaki and fight for what we believe in. And I think we can all do that. We can all stand up and make a difference. The biggest question I get asked every day, especially by young people, is how can I make a change because I'm just one person? But we all can. We all have a voice, and we can stand up for what we know is right. So stand up, honestly, yeah.
I'm gonna turn over to the audience, but I wanna thank you all for being here and hanging out with us. Number one, I wanna thank you for being just so wonderful and having such a great energy about you, and congratulations
Audience
on the show,
questions.
which I will.
What? In the process of waking up. They look so cute.
Let us know in the comments below who your favourite wombat is and which animals you'd like to see next.
Morning, you're ready to go. This is Kato coming out for the morning, having a bit of her breakfast.
Now, I do have the biggest soft spot for Kato. She definitely is my favourite wombat because she was the first ever marsupial that I got to create a really special bond with. Kato is a common wombat, which means her fur is quite coarse, almost feels just like a paintbrush. She's the sweetest, most loving girl, and now at 20 years old, she's living next to her sister, who is in fact named by Bindi.
Hello. Good morning. Oh, you going back to bed? Going to get Ellie out of bed, wake up the little squishy bum. Wayne is her
My
life-size
squishy bum needs to wake up.
wombat that she sleeps with. Yeah, Ellie, that's not your plate. Ellie. Good girl. Good girl, squishy. Good morning. So this is Ellie. She's 4 years old. She was born here at the zoo. She got hand raised by a couple of the keepers here at the zoo, which makes her very special to all of us.
We actually just celebrated her 5th birthday, surrounded by all her favourite keepers.
She loves her scratches and her cuddles. She definitely is the cheeky one out of all of them.
Now let's talk about wombats and digging holes. Now, wombats being a terrestrial marsupial, they obviously strictly live on the ground, but wombats are burrowers, so they have tendencies to dig holes here in their habitat. But we're okay with that because we have these giant sand pits where they can go for gold. We get to use our muscles filling in these holes just for them to start all over again the next day. Get the corn. Oh, come on. So this is Bunker. He is our little male here at Australia Zoo. He is a special little boy. We have introduced him to his future girlfriend, Ellie. So far, he hasn't quite figured it out. Now, just like all wombats, he's definitely got a lot of character and a lot of energy. I definitely would want to be eating all my corn on my own as well. Nice and peaceful. So we met Bunker, but let me introduce you to my favorite wombat. This is Meg, and Meg right now is doing what Meg loves to do. Meg is 20 years old, which is exceptional for a wombat. They can live up to about 15 years old in the wild. Now, Meg, as you've already seen, loves to sleep. And in the morning when we come in and we're getting the day ready and we're tidying around her, she will just hide and bury her face to the last minute because she loves her bed.
Same.
Neck scratch, yeah. And here is her roommate. This is Minnie Bus. Hi, Minnie. Now, Minnie Bus is one of our most famous residents here. She has had the pleasure of working with Steve. And you met her daughter and granddaughter earlier, Burrow and Ellie. And Minnie Bus, what can I say about Minnie Bus? She is a living legend here at the zoo. She is the queen of our wombats.
Queen. My queen.
You wanna go that way? Okay.
I slept. I'm just tired.
Come on. This is typical. This is what we do. We put our harness on. And we like to make our keeper work for it. And everything is on her terms. As it should be. Alright? You get to decide. Yeah? Now, taking our wombats out for a walk is vitally important to us and to them. Not only does it keep them healthy physically, but it also helps us keep them stimulated both mentally and emotionally. Going on our wombat walks allows our wombats to really focus on those natural wombat behaviors. Minnie Bus, who is our oldest wombat, she has a key area that she certainly loves to claim as her own, and that is where Bindy's old tree house is. You can very often see us walking Minnie Bus around there and her staking claim to her domain. Alright, that is enough from me. Now it is time to put our wombats to bed, and Crystal is going to show you our nighttime routine.
When it's time to take the wombats to bed, we make sure their life-size burrows are nice and cozy. We set up their beds with a big pile of mulch, add some browse before we call them in for dinner, do our final checks and tuck them in good night. Thank you so much for coming along and meeting our wombats. But on your next visit, keep your eyes peeled for our newest addition to the Australia Zoo family.
Mate, it is an absolute huge bonza, ripper of the day. How's the Easter going, guys? Good? Thanks so much for coming in, guys.
I'm so fucking sleepy. Why? I was awake before I pooped. It's like the reverse today. I was starting to wake up, then I pooped, and now I'm more sleepy again. Pourquoi? Crikey. Oh god. He's so small with the bowl cut. 10 years ago.
Welcome to Australia Zoo. My mum and dad grew the zoo from when it was only a really small reptile park to what it is today. Isn't it incredible? Let's go check it out. At Australia Zoo, you can meet
10
all
years
of these
ago, what, like
awesome
8?
animals. So we've got a little macaw here. We've got a really beautiful little
10?
koala.
I don't know.
Also
How old
got
was he
an
here?
awesome alligator. Have a look at this. At Australia Zoo, it's always hands-on. This little girl here is
He's like
an
9.
Asian small-clawed otter. They're pretty cute, aren't they? But when Dad used to come in here,
Something.
this was actually one of the few animals
Maybe
that
he's
he was
older now, I
actually
don't know.
terrified of. Because whenever he came into their enclosure, they would actually sort of start attacking him, which was pretty funny. But now they're a lot more settled.
Oh, he's 20 now, so he was 10 here.
Have a go at our gorgeous Aldabran tortoises. And I always think that if the food isn't good enough for me, then it's not good enough for the tortoises. You want some? See you later, guys. Modern day crocodiles like those guys were a whole lot different 75 million years ago. They were this size and ate dinosaurs. This is a Sarcosuchus.
Is that Steve Irwin reincarnated? Yeah, they tried to convince us that he died and this is his son, but we all know, we've all seen Avatar. He just like ported his essence and took over his son's body because he wanted blue eyes and nicer teeth.
Sarcosuchus was a 12-meter
You
long
can't
predator.
fool us, Steve.
That's 40 feet. My dad absolutely loved dinosaurs. In fact, he even made a documentary about them. And when you come to Australia Zoo, you get the chance to climb one of these amazing reptiles. Whatever your favourite animal is, when you come to Australia Zoo, you're definitely sure to find it. Now, my sister Bindi's favourite animal are these guys, the echidna. Now, the echidna are really, really fascinating because basically the most obvious thing is these incredible spikes. With their food, what we've got is we've got kind of like a mixture of squished insects, mincemeat, olive oil, all kinds of things.
Exactly,
and when
Slurp.
you come to visit, you can actually visit these guys.
His mind was weak.
And what we'll do, if you're game enough,
As a
we'll
babe.
actually put the food
Easily
on your toes,
overcomable.
and then the echidnas will actually come along and
That
lick
was
the
his
food
plan all
out of
along.
your toes.
That's why he was like, no, we should have children. They'll love it. Because he was planning to take over his son's mind. Sorcery.
So it's pretty fun. G'day, Bindi.
Hey, Robert, how are
Hello,
you?
Hunter. Oh, look at our gorgeous little tiger cubs. Aren't they just awesome? So these little tiger cubs, just like me and Bindi, are the next generation of Australia Zoo. Welcome to Africa. Our savannah is as big as Africa. Here at Australia Zoo, even the littlest people can meet the biggest animals. So this guy's DJ and he's a massive 2-ton rhino. He's awesome, isn't he? Kids from the age of 12 can come and visit Australia Zoo and feed our zebra. Crikey, it's the only place in the world that you can do it. Now there's actually more than one way to feed a giraffe. Good boy, Forrest. So this here is a little water dragon. Now when you come to Australia Zoo, you'll often see these little guys running around everywhere, all over the zoo. And they're actually wild, so don't think any animals have escaped.
It's my girl.
When you come to Australia Zoo, you can't pick these
It's
guys
my
up,
girl,
you can just
Ella.
enjoy them from afar. 'Cause
Ella.
I am a trained professional.
My little girl.
Yes, she's so happy. Baby.
Ooh.
Hey guys, how
Love
you
ya.
going? I absolutely love wombats. They're so cool. They're kind of like Australia's bulldozers of the bush. And did you know that they're actually the closest relative to a koala? One of my favourite things about them is if you look here at her little
Oh,
bottom,
sweet.
it's actually, if you feel it, it's really, really hard. And what that's designed for is when a predator comes along, she'll actually burrow down and then she'll press her backside up. And then since it's so hard, the predator actually can't grab it. But what's also incredible is these guys can actually run so fast. They can run up to 40 k's an hour. So they're pretty amazing.
New tweet is up, by the way. Please go like, comment, and retweet. My cuddly baby. New tweet. Go like the
Welcome
tweet.
to the Australia
Like,
Zoo
comment,
Wildlife
retweet.
Hospital. We're the busiest wildlife hospital in the world. We've treated over 51,000 animals. Let's check it out. Now this is a gorgeous little koala named Classic Kenny. So he was actually unfortunately hit by a car and he broke his arm. But you can see here, this is called an external fixation device. So that's just there on his arm and that'll help him recover really quickly. So it's really sad because that's what we see very often is koalas
so
being
soft.
hit by cars, and they'll also often be attacked by dogs. So it's really sad. And we actually get around 90 koalas a month into the wildlife hospital. So this little blue-tongued lizard was actually brought in by our rescue unit because she's actually been attacked by a dog. The rescue unit actually goes out every single day and rescues all of these animals.
Girl.
In this video, we are building and giving away 100 houses. And each home is going...
I don't care. Oh, baby. I love you so much. I love you so much. Oh, shit, baby. Oh, my baby. My baby. Wait for me. What a sweet girl. What a sweet girl. Woof. Okay, go back to sleep. Take a nap. Careful. You want to come for a cuddle as well? Yeah. Oh. Hi, Loki. Prince got jealous. Hi, Loki. Hi, Loki. You're so handsome, Mr. Loki. I think he's a blue merle with 10 points. What are you doing? Oh, you're climbing. So sweet. Oh, sweet. Try Merle. You're very pretty. Yeah, I think he's a tri-merle. So he has tan. He's like Mr. Purple's coloring, but merle. He has tan under the eyebrows. And his cheeks. His legs. Love you. I love you. Little Loki. You're a pretty boy. You got a pretty boy. You are a pretty boy. Gorgeous. You are gorgeous. You are gorgeous. Yeah, I'm keeping 4. So I got me a tricolor, a black, a blue merle, and a tri-merle. Oh. Loki is like a merle version of Ryder, and Ella's a merle version of Angel. You're so pretty. So pretty. You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh. What? What are you doing? So wiggly right now. There you go. Is that better? Is that a better position? Did you find a comfy spot? Oh. Interesting eye shapes. See little almond eyes. I've got little almond eyes, little Disney dog eyes. Little Disney animal eyes. Little pretty almond eyes. Oh. Handsome boys. Leave it. Finish your nap. And this one is just like the last one, but doesn't have the merle pattern. This is Mr. Ryder. You see he's got tan in all the same spots. Eyebrows, muzzle, legs. But a solid version. Yes. Love you. You're so handsome. You're so handsome, my boy. You're such a handsome boy. So handsome. Such a cutie. So sweet. So sweet. Such a good dog. Pillow, like your mama. Use my boobies a pillow. Just what your mommy does. Yep, just like that. You're your mama's boy. That's right. It's long lashes you'll have. You especially, long lashes. He's like, whoa. Genetic. Genetic cuddlers. Genetic cuties. Yo. Look at that. You got your mama's cuddle gene. I love it. That's what I was hoping for. Noxie's intelligence and athleticism with my mommy's cuddles. I got him. I did. I got what I wanted. I got what I wanted. Oh, he is smart. I can tell by the way he looks at everything. So fast at learning too. Was my ride or die. Ride or die. My buddy for life. Yeah. My main man. Love your coloring. Her tan is lightening into a nice cream. That's so pretty. Very pretty. You keep hiding their face like too bright, light too bright, light too bright. No, it is. Love you. I love you. So soft, Ollie. So soft. Fluffy. Fluffy babies. Is this the little boy I carry? When did he grow to be so tall? Wasn't it yesterday? One day we're small. crazy. Little nap. Go. Go take a nap. Go take a nap. One more, baby. This little angel. Oh, you got hiccups? No, not the hiccups. I'm gonna lose some strong hiccups, my girl. Goodness, you alright? Some fierce hiccups. There you go, that's better. Oh. No. This is little angel. The non-Merle version of Ella. Yeah, is that your tickle spot? Yeah. She's so cute. Her face, so sweet. Those little eyes. Yeah. I love their eyes because they have the eyeliner. It's the dilution gene from Mommy's Cream. Gave them some eyeliner and like a softer black shade nose. Hey, just spending some cuddle time.
She's coming her usual Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Healing? So she's coming today?
She's here already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
She was like, that bunny room's ridiculous. Why is there, meaning like, why is there tape on the wall and the blue tarp?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not supposed to be there.
They did that. Put Ella back. I mean, not Ella, the angel.
They're like coming for like 2 seconds. And then they decide they're boring.
He's so heavy.
They're heavier than my dogs.
All that nutrition.
Yeah. Why are you looking at him? Don't look at me like that. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. You're so close. You're so close. Let me get you poured in. I gotta. The stuff from Petco should have come in.
It said it was delivered.
Yeah, it said it should be here by 12.
She's like, stop making fun of me. It's Ella, I think. Sounds like Ella. That. I actually think it's Prince. I can listen like Ella. I don't know who it is.
Prince. Loud. It was triggering me. You did like a little Ella sound.
Oh, really? How do you mute this?
I can't find the typo.
Oh, it says at 1:30. I got the notification that they picked up the order. Yeah. It says they're approaching.
The Petco?
Yeah. Okay. Follow the video while I start doing makeup.
Staring contest
3,
and
2, 1.
go. We're the Irwins, and this is Australia Zoo.
Our dad Steve built this zoo to protect our world wildlife. Today, we strive to carry on his mission.
So come with us. This is Wild Times. I am so excited to introduce you to one of my best friends. Meet Jenny. So Jenny here is our Burmese python. Have a look at her. Burmese pythons are usually dark brown and they kind of look like mottled earth. But Jenny here is white, as you can tell.
She's actually completely leucistic. So what's
That's
really
cool
interesting is she turned this completely pale white, no pigment whatsoever. But now the weirdest thing has happened. She's actually starting to get some of that pigment back.
As you can see, they can grow to be absolutely giant. These guys are completely non-venomous. What they do is when they catch a small animal to eat, they actually constrict. And that means when they grab the little food item, they'll give it one giant hug to kind of squeeze all the air out of it, and then they'll be able to eat it. But these guys are non-venomous.
A lot of people can be quite afraid of snakes. A lot of people think that they're kind of these slimy things that just sort of creep and crawl everywhere, but they're not. They're really beautiful animals. They're nice and smooth and soft, and the most important thing if you see a snake is just kind of leave it alone, let it do its thing, and you'll never have a problem with them.
Look at that. She's smelling at the moment.
It's
Hey,
true,
Robert,
so you can see that amazing tongue.
Reminds me
there.
of
So that
cookies and
forked
cream.
tongue, that's kind of how they smell. So they actually use that to sort of scent the air. They are actually quite inquisitive.
And she actually can't hear anything, so we can tell her that she's very beautiful, but she can't hear us. She can kind of feel our vibrations, but she actually can't listen.
Well, I think now it's time to let Jenny slither on back home.
While you watch this.
Stop simping, Matthew. Just donate money to Cash App. That's all I want. I hate it when you compliment me and don't fucking donate money. It's like, especially when that's every single thing you say. Shut up. Just send money. Don't be a broke bitch. Too slow to understand what you're saying. Yeah, he's like a snake. He can't hear anything.
A choco bicky is kind of Australian slang for chocolate biscuit or chocolate cookie. Devo, that means really sad.
Always running the tongue. Can't
Let's say
fucking
you
hear.
lost your dog. I'm devoed. Dunny means toilet. So you'd say, I'm just gonna go to the dunny.
I am here at our amazing meerkat adventure area with our, you guessed it,
Amen, Army. Lisa, you're honest about it, okay?
These are our beautiful meerkat sisters. As you can see, they're searching for food, which is pretty much what they do all day, every single day. These guys are actually from Southwest Africa, which means that they live in the desert. Did you know that? You live in the desert. These guys live in giant mobs from 3 meerkats all the way up to 50 meerkats. And that's pretty special.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I gotta order a bidet. Every time I go take a shit, I'm like, I need to order some bidets. Then I get back on the computer and I forget. All right. Let's see. Bidet. Attachment. For toilet.
I have a tushy.
You have a tushy? Do you recommend the tushy?
Yeah.
What's like the best bidet in the market?
I don't know. I like tushy because it looks good. Some of them look gross.
I want one to talk to me. Do they have a talking one? It's like, butthole is clean. Butthole has been cleaned.
You can get one with air.
Air? Like a dryer?
Yeah.
Sheesh. And dryer. Look at, does Tushy have one with a dryer?
I don't know.
I think they do, maybe.
See, I don't like these. These look like, I don't know, they make me feel unhygienic, just the way they look.
Why? What's wrong with them?
I don't know, they just look, I don't like the way they look. Can't
Okay.
explain it.
Alright.
They look cheap to me.
The Tushy doesn't look cheap to you?
Well, I mean, they all look cheap, but
Okay.
I just like how simple it is. Toilet.
No, I want to wake up. I want that shit to hit me like, ah!
I don't know.
It doesn't have a dryer though. Damn, that's expensive. I already have a heated seat.
I feel like you don't need the whole seat.
No, I just said it has a dryer. Bidet. Just gonna do dryer.
Let's go.
Maybe I don't need a dryer. I'll just get it.
You smell the treats, didn't you, honey? Oh, good boy. Good boy. Okay. Hold on, let me get your fishing pole.
What's the difference? Oh, this isn't how hot and cold. Oh, sheesh. What about the pressure control? Maybe it's the lift part. The lift up and down is the pressure. Oh, ew, I don't like that. White's best. This is the one. Oh, I'm going to get.
There you go. Show for a little bit, guys.
I get 5. 6.
You can come here. You find it? You find
Yeah, I'm gonna order 5 for today.
What? It's coming today?
Yeah.
It's stocked in town.
So hold on, I'll count the how many bathrooms I have. There's 1, 2, and then the main house I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need 2 more. Maybe tomorrow, but that's fine. A bidet for every toilet.
Do you have bidets in others?
I only have it at the other house, not this one.
Oh, I see.
I never got new ones. What did you ask?
You have a new chair that came in.
Oh yeah, I want it assembled.
For this one? Like you're gonna use it instead of
I might try just to switch it up because it's like a saddle seat, so it changes the way you sit.
Yeah. Alright, I can put it together. Go. Run. Don't jump. Don't jump. Come on, guys, calm down. Calm yourselves. Move, 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 move. Don't take that. Let go. Let go. Let go. Move. 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 Oh, okay. Don't move that far. Move. Guys. Who? You guys piss me off. You guys piss me off. Yeah. Girl, yeah. Move. Move it. Move. Get it. Get it. Get over here. Get over here. Chewing paper towels. Move. Oh, sorry. Down. Anyone see poop on me? Do it now. Okay.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Good poop. Stop. Stop. You just want all the attention today, don't you, honey? Yes, you do, little Loki. Little Loki.
Why is my payment thing?
Puppy. Friend.
gold. Uh-oh.
Horse
There's
posture.
me.
Monster
There's
Hunter
a lot of these.
Wilds.
All right, let's get started. This is the first one. It's the heavy bow gun. Interesting weapon. This shit looks like it came out of Halo. It's crazy how Monster Hunter has